We're back.
What's going on?
We're back.
Friday,
Live at the
again.
Lightbox.
Holy shit. It's all going on down here at the
Love this
Lightbox.
face, but I always fix my hair.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a mirror.
You look in the camera and all that. That's that problem.
You don't have to fix
My
anything.
glasses straight.
We're actually surrounded by red carpet today. They've rolled it out for us. Who's proms tonight?
I don't know. Whose prom is tonight? Well, Chanel's is gone. State's gone, so it must be Tula.
I think it is Tula.
Or is it Tanam?
I think Trinity was last night.
What was it, Trinity?
Yeah, Trinity was last night. Yeah, Sarah, my daughter's been doing makeups all week at Priceline for the prom, so yes. So I think it's the last one tonight. Yeah, she's done great.
Working. Arthur's going to get us a new computer for next week.
Arthur, please get him a new computer with a really long battery life, so we don't have to shift halfway through.
That's all right.
Great subject this week.
Great topic. Hold on, before we get into it, anything major in Gladstone, just very quickly.
Just prom week this week. It's been a pretty full on week with the proms.
Did you come?
No, I haven't. My kids are all done. Ian Powell, what a great live last night. Ian, he was great after the technical issues at the start. It was brilliant.
He's one of the good lads.
Yeah, he is. Fit as.
Oh,
God, he's fit.
Like a mofo.
Yes.
He just runs a few 50k runs.
Oh, just go for a stroll.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, well, I'll let him do the running for me. You know, I don't like running.
A little bit on Sunday. That's about it.
Now, there's a man that gets out of his comfort zone. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah,
and imagine that, just like he was saying, as you found out last night, coaching kids soccer, found out that he just enjoyed that kicking soccer balls around like a kid, and all of a sudden he just went and found other stuff he liked doing as a kid.
Yeah, it was great. It was
good,
really
good.
good. Yeah,
amazing.
So we're talking about comfort zone today. There's
right.
not a lot happening. Well, not a lot that we haven't already talked about in Gladstone. So we want to get straight into it.
Let's go
straight into it.
So talk me through it. What's comfort zone mean to you, Gil?
Well, that's one big thing I've focused on in the last 18 months is getting out of my comfort zone and learning. I think it's actually taught me a lot about me. Really forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone. But there's one thing that I always ask myself to help get out of my comfort zone, and that question you have got to ask yourself is, what's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? It is, and I really think that when you are struggling to do something that you don't have the courage to do, which I believe is comfort zone, I really think that's what you have to ask yourself. If I do this, what's the worst thing that could happen? Barb's not feeling well today, so I hope you feel better soon, Barb.
Actually, and that's right. What's the worst that can happen? And nothing, really.
Well, it is, because the other thing that I really want to stress today. Getting out of your comfort zone doesn't mean being reckless. It doesn't mean jumping off the second story of a double-story house into a swimming pool to see what will happen.
That's silly.
That's reckless. Dangerous. It's dangerous, and it's all about using your common sense. So, and I'm not a big believer in it being safe to, bungee jump or I have fears with regards to heights, and I have overcome some of those over the years. Yeah.
Let's take a step back just for a second. Why are we doing this topic, basically? Why don't we actually...
commenting on the chairs.
Chairs. The Lightbox don't listen to us, Barb. We've only sworn about them every week for 6 months. Why is comfort zone a big topic? Why would people join in and listen to us?
Well, one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I've got after 6 months now, I think we've been doing lives, and we've just recently launched our page, and people may have seen last week I interviewed all the candidates bar one. I still haven't been able to get in touch with Sue, but I've interviewed all the candidates, and I can't really believe how much of an impact that's had, as far as people saying to me, people who've never ever seen our Friday lives before, saying to me, I can't believe that you can get up and do that, and you just do it, it's a natural thing. It wasn't always a natural thing for me to get up and speak in front of people.
Are there people that haven't seen it?
There are, unfortunately, but we'll get out there. We'll get out there, and I think, and a lot of people ask me what's the aim of us doing this, and my biggest thing as a local business owner and a huge lover and supporter of the Gladstone region, I really can't stress enough how much I'd like to get the message out there. What a great place we live in. There's so many positive people, positive things to do, events. There's so much community involvement, and I think doing the lives it's something that really I'm very passionate about to get the word out. Being a local business owner, not just promoting the area to the locals as far as what we've got going on here and the great people that we have in this community, but also to visitors and people looking at this area as a potential home to move to. And I think that, having the live videos, and Pat Law is one of his followers on our live that I did with Pat's interview.
He wanted to know who you were.
Asked who I was, and I found it interesting because I just thought I'm just a local girl who I just like talking to people, and with Facebook the way that it's going, I love actually being in a position where I'm confident enough to get up and ask the questions and talk to people. And
I just like talking in general.
Promote the area. You do like talking in general, but I don't do it. I don't get any sort of. Obviously, don't get financial benefit out of it. It's more about me getting a message across to the community from my level as just a normal human being. I'm obviously not technologically minded because I'm still struggling with that stupid selfie stick, but I'll work it out.
Really?
I'm having a couple of issues. Poor old Colin Burke, his video was on an angle, but you could still hear what he was saying. So I'll work it out.
Watching it like this.
Yeah. It's really, if you turn it on half an angle, it was okay. Yeah. But it's still got the message out there, and the biggest wow factor out of everything that I did with those interviews for the candidates was an email I received from a client, and she actually emailed and thanked me and congratulated us on the page that we've launched. And she said she looked everywhere for information about the candidates and couldn't find anything.
She went to your page.
And she stumbled across one of the lives, and she went to the page, she looked at it and saw the interviews that I had done to give the candidates an opportunity to talk about what their focus was. And it was just real. And she had started looking at all of our old Friday lives on the page, and she said it was great what we were doing. So I thought, well, when you get positive feedback like that, you're doing something right. Hey, Joshua, Hamish.
This is the bloke in the fireman's camera, buff ass.
Oh, Hamish. What month are you, Hamish?
Yeah, what month, Hamish? Talk us through it, man. Actually, have you got a photo there that you can post there, please, mate? You'll have one in your phone.
I'm sure everyone would love to see that.
Right. Or especially the girlies, they're going to love to see you.
To see a man in uniform.
Oh, no, he's got no uniform on. He's half naked
in
there.
Well, definitely post it. Yeah, make sure you cover your bits.
That's right. Well, I think he's got his bits covered. So,
strategically placed fireman's helmet or something.
So, in relation... Pardon.
Sorry, Amy, couldn't help myself.
So in saying that, so what's that all got to do with comfort zone? So you were saying, 6 months ago you couldn't have done a live video? Or
well, I probably could, but I would have been a lot more nervous and overthought it. I would have actually, I would have been extremely... Well, yeah, but it's just taken time, and I think the biggest thing is taking that first step. You know, one of my favourite sayings is do something every day that scares you. Do something every day that scares you. And what I'd really like, if people would like to be involved, hi Donna Ellis, if people want to try and get involved in this, I'd love to know what some things that people would like to be able to do, but they just don't have the courage to get out of their comfort zone and do. If there's something that you would really, really love to have the ability or the courage to do, let us know what it is, and today, maybe we can help you, and just type it in, maybe we can let you know just a few little tips on what we would do to be able to have the courage to do it.
So talk me through it. You've done lives now. You've also done some public speaking work or something.
I've done a lot of public speaking, but getting out of your comfort zone is a lot of things. Me choosing to have weight loss surgery, that was a huge thing.
Was it really?
Huge. To be told that the surgery I had was to remove 85% of the stomach.
That's 85% of the stomach.
Yeah. So the gastric sleeve surgery, they remove 85% of your stomach, which obviously reduces your portion sizes. So that's what helps you to lose.
They just get a bit off the side.
No. They take 85%. So normal size stomach. Oh, we've got tea.
Oh, this is the lovely Eliza. Now,
Eliza's bringing our tea.
You got some big news this week. What happened to your little bride this week? Because we followed Harry's journey.
So my brother got his Halo brace on.
Yes. So young Harry Maguire, who had his accident. How's he going?
He's
good.
That's
great.
Fully healed.
That's great.
So we talked about Harry 3 months ago?
Well, we've talked about him over the last few weeks, and just given an update when we can. And that's okay. And Harry's, Harry had an accident on his bike and broke his neck. And his mum. No, here's my tea.
Thanks.
Thank you. Can you give Harry our best and tell him we've given him another plug on our live? Say hi to Jenny and Joe. Oh, excellent. That's great.
Good on you, sweetie.
That's the best news. So yeah, so Harry, the accident Harry had, his mum Jenny told me that only about 2% of people survived the break that he had. So it's great news. He's got his brace off, and that's.
Hopefully he'll be home soon.
Oh,
Is
he'll
he
be
being
home
busy at the
tomorrow.
moment?
Yeah,
Home
tomorrow she said. So
Oh, isn't that great?
yeah, that'd be great if he was home tomorrow. So all the best, Harry, with the rest of your recovery, and a really big shout out to the Maguire family for obviously getting through this, and obviously recognising the support from the local community, because
Well, everyone chipped in. Remember Matt Burnett and Glenn Butcher?
yeah, they visited him. Yeah.
So everyone was behind that cause, which is really good.
It is. It's really good. And I'm sure Harry's had to get out of his comfort zone a lot with, walking around with a huge big brace on his neck and head, for such a long time, and very challenging for a young man to have to go through that.
And I would think he'd have shitty days and he'd have good days.
Absolutely, he'd have shitty moments.
He'd be up and down like a horse draws.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, in saying all that, Guins Ros, love that. Do something every day that scares you. Absolutely.
How's the job going?
Drag your chairs.
Catherine got out of
That
it.
scares me.
Yeah. We're actually going to be surrounded by a heap of people soon, because everyone's gathering for the prom tonight.
We might get a few people on. Talking about you building up the courage to do lives. So I've been doing lives every day for a year, obviously, as you know. And
It's longer than that now, isn't it?
No, it's a year. No, it's coming up to a year. Oh yeah, no, I've been doing lives for probably 18 months. Ever since I discovered the live function. With beauty, it's only one push and we're out to the world. But when I started doing that, it amazed me how many people said, I wish I could do that, I want to be able to do that, I wish I could.
Hear it all the time.
And then people would say, even, I know it'd be good for business, but I just can't get myself on camera.
In saying that, did you see Yvonne from the Deli Plate actually did the interview?
Yeah,
she was
did.
just so against doing that when I booked
it.
it in. No,
That's what
and
I
I
said.
had a chat to her before. I said, look, you're the face of this business. You've worked really hard, got a massive amount of support, and she did an exceptionally good job.
So you talked her up, you coached her through the process.
Well, I did, and she got up there and did a great job. And if you want to see our video, go to our page, Let's Go Live with Guins Ros, and where you can watch that video on the Deli Plate, and Yvonne did an exceptionally good job. I also talked to Anita. I've got something on. Oh, we're going to be on camera.
Oh, yeah. So, look.
The cameras are setting up. We got the paparazzi out.
Oh, that's it.
Today.
They're only here for us.
So I did a couple of business interviews this week on our page as well, and I think there's two things that I've found. One, people don't do things because they're worried about what everyone else is going to think or say. That's the first thing, and that's any comfort zone things. The second one is that they're their own worst critic. So when they watch it back,
they give themselves a hard time.
actually give themselves a hard time. Oh, I look terrible. My hair looked messy. I didn't sound right. I hate the sound of my own voice.
Can I give you a tip? Of the 365 lives I've done, I've watched one of them. I don't watch them back. Like, to me, you just do it and you do it and you let it go. It's just job done. Like, I don't. You seem to watch them all.
Yeah, but I watch them to make sure we haven't done anything to upset anybody.
Oh, well,
I'm like
the
editor.
I do that every week.
I'm the editor.
Do you edit out?
No, I don't edit anything. They're not. You can't edit a live. What I'm saying is, I just want to make sure that we haven't said anything like you swearing.
I think occasionally.
I can't edit that. I can't bleep things, unfortunately.
I think I upset some. Who was that dude I upset that day? The speaker. Remember down there? I gave him a hard time.
Yeah, you did. Gordon.
Don't count to 5. It triggers your brain. Something scary is happening. Count down. Well, it's funny you should mention that. Have you ever read the book The 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins?
No, I've heard of it though.
She says count down from 5.
She
says there's some science behind this thing. No, there is. She studied it, and the brain, when you're ready to take an action, you have this very, very finite, small period of time where you'll talk yourself out of it. So this fear. Getting over your fears. You have a 5-second window, basically, is what Mel Robbins says. Because in that 5 seconds, you have this fight or flight from your amygdala brain. Where your brain, if you can get yourself to take action, will fire off the adrenaline that you need to get over your fears.
Totally agree with that.
And you only get 5 seconds of it. And that's
totally agree with that.
And it's like, I'll tell you where Mel Robbins discovered it, was the alarm clock. She couldn't get out of bed in the morning. Well, and I know that's something you do too. You hit the snooze button.
No, only once.
Okay, good. And
I set 3 alarms though. It goes off.
You serious?
Well, I get up on the second one because I'm annoyed and can't get back to sleep. But I just want to make sure I don't sleep through.
Well, she reckons, and this is the silliest story over here. It's a bit wanky, but I like it. She says she's watching the TV one night, and there's this literally a rocket launch on TV.
Yeah.
And they count it down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And so then she said, that's a good plan. And that's how she discovered this 5-second rule, which has actually made her
So counting
famous.
backwards from
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She has the 5 seconds. That's what she says to do.
And before the 5 seconds is up, like I said before, you just ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? And you know, interestingly enough, you know, one of my favourite things to do is dance. So I go and see a live band, I get out and dance.
Yes, you do.
Do you know how many people will not get up and dance?
Really?
And you know why? Because they're worried about
Scared
what
about
everyone else
what
is
they
going to
look
think.
like.
They are
That's
worried
right.
about what it. And the old saying, "Dance like no one is watching."
It's true.
It's just true. Just do it because it makes you feel good. Don't worry about what everyone else says. You don't have to be. You don't have to be Michael Jackson.
That's right.
If you want to get up and dance when
Even
there's
though we
music
are.
on,
Right.
we are Michael Jackson. Where are you going?
So here's the thing. You know how you've got what's the worst that can happen?
Yep.
Mine is it can't be that hard.
It can't be that.
Can't be that hard.
You're right.
Because it's like everything that I've ever done in life, seriously, it's gone, I'm going to go and start my own business. Can't be that hard. I'm going to go and run a 100k run. Can't be that hard. Like, surely. Like, sometimes follow that with, can you stop looking on the table? I follow that with, someone else has already done this. Like, there's nothing that you and I are going to do in life that some other mofo hasn't gone and done before.
Oh, and did you see that video
Do you
this
agree?
week? Oh, absolutely. And that reminded me, a video I saw this week of a gentleman who was born with no arms and no legs.
Nick
And he climbed to Mount Kilimanjaro. Was it Mount Kilimanjaro? Was it?
I didn't
Yeah, I
see
saw.
that.
Oh, look, this video was
He's
exceptional.
crazy, man.
Oh, it was exceptionally unbelievable story, and I'll share it if I can.
Could you?
I think it was Mount Kilimanjaro. I think I saved.
Nick Wojcik.
He actually.
You know what I mean, Nick Wojcik, get on him.
He actually, I think I've seen him. He spoke at one of our Remix conferences, and the biggest thing was, it might have been this guy, Kyle Maynard.
Right. Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's in.
So yeah, I'll share that video with you. So this guy was born with no arms and no legs. That's the video. Anything is possible. Anything is possible is a lie, and that was the biggest message in it. Was when you're told anything's possible, because he's trying to say, well, he said,
not possible.
well, he said not anything is possible. He said if that was the case, he'd say, well, I'm just going to grow my arms and legs. You know, he was trying to get the message across about learning what your capabilities are and doing whatever you can to reach those capabilities. So he climbs this mountain and he talks about not looking at the long goal. He kept at the beginning of the journey looking at the peak of the mountain. And he just about broke. He nearly gave up. He was ready so many times for them to call a helicopter to lift him out of there. But he just kept, after realising it wasn't the peak that he had to focus on, it was the next step.
Right.
Just the one step, the next step in front of him. And he said, and when he went that one step, he went another step. And he said he was focusing on the small goals, which ultimately led him to reaching the peak of the mountain. So exceptionally good. I might post the link for that video on here actually, because he totally got out of his comfort zone. He was born with no arms and no legs. He's just got little stumps for arms and legs. And it was such a great video to inspire people to get out of their comfort zone.
And what I love about
It was in the snow, so he's walking he had to wear these special covers on his, his little stumps, and yeah, it was just unbelievable.
What I love about that story is when Ian and I, we're going to do one of them, what it takes to build up the marathon. And by the way, John Morales says, yes, Anton, if they can do it, why can't we?
Exactly.
Just find someone who's done something and go and copy them. Chris Carolina, thanks for joining us.
And Stephen. Big good.
Stephen Bennett and
Big
Big
Mr. Few.
Now, here's the thing, in marathon running, you only focus on the next light part. Seriously.
Oh, and I can see how that would actually, hang on, Anton's taking a
You're
call.
going right, Ash.
I could see how that would actually, make the journey easier. It's focusing on the small goals and not the end. And it's the same with anything, running a business. If you want to achieve your peak, we've talked about peak performance before. And when you set a plan in place, it's about breaking it down into smaller goals to achieve the bigger goal. And I guess there's so many ways that can be put into action into different circumstances in life.
Absolutely. So let's talk specifically comfort zone for people, and let's pick people's biggest fear on the front.
That's what we want to know.
Well, I know what it is.
What is people's biggest fear?
Public speaking.
Well, we talked about that the other day when I saw that stand-up comedian thing from Jerry Seinfeld when he said at a funeral, most people would rather be in the coffin and giving the eulogy because they're the two biggest fears in life and that people have: public speaking and dying. Yeah, and he said public speaking actually is the top thing that people are scared of.
Absolutely, which I don't possibly.
And I don't mean getting up in front of people giving a speech. It means even approaching people, talking to someone who's a stranger if you're sitting in the bus, or it's actually speaking to somebody who you don't know.
Is that public speaking?
Well, it's speaking to
is that
the
something
public.
else that people are scared of?
Well, see, I class our lives. If I'm interviewing someone, I class that as a form of public speaking because it's going live. And the thing with lives is it's even harder. It's even a better example of getting out of your comfort zone because
that's a work one. That's a job to do.
Sorry, Sean. A message on your phone. Put a message on your phone to say that you're not available from 4 to 5.
I'm live with Ros. Guins Ros.
Failure can be a big fear. Failure is a huge fear, Ian, and I think that's what stops a lot of people from taking the step. I actually found some really great things I'm going to just share this morning.
While you're doing that, can I make a couple of quick comments? You know what you said before about people are worried about what they look like and being judged and that sort of stuff? If anyone's out there watching, and I said this on a live the other night, right? If you are worried about that, your focus is on the wrong place.
Absolutely.
Stop focusing on yourself, team. I'm going to tell you, change your life. Stop focusing on yourself and think about other people. Because Ros and I, when you're doing this stuff, we're not worried. Well, Ros worries about that. I'm not so worried.
But only because I'm in a professional position. I'm not going to turn up in my tracksuit.
No, that's right.
And that's the other thing is being conscious of your. Is still being conscious of your delivery of what you do.
To a degree. But really, at the end of the day, we are more focused on the content than what we look like.
Absolutely.
Right? So we spend some time during the week, we talk about this, what are we going to talk about? What are people going to get value from it? It's more about you out there. I'm looking at you right now. Maybe we'll get that.
Yeah, there.
I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at us. We want you to get a message out of this. We want you to learn something, right? And if we were focused on ourselves, we would never ever share anything.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be sitting here going live every Friday afternoon if it was just about me getting something out of it. So,
well, it's not only that. Even if you're worried about what you look like, or if you're worried that you couldn't do it.
And you know what? You will always. I will guarantee you this. I have been a big girl. I was 150 kilos. I was a teenager at 150 kilos. I have gone through my whole life being judged. And you know what? I'm 64 kilos now, and I think I look okay. People still judge me. So if you're worried your whole life about whether you're going to ever get to a place where people don't judge you, it will never happen. It will never. All the time. All the time. All the time. People still make an assumption. If they haven't known me before I looked like this, they say, oh, for God's sake, eat something, or, you're way too skinny, or, but you can't do that because I know I'm at a healthy weight. I'm not an idiot. I know I'm intelligent, and I know that I'm looking after my health. I've been the same weight for a year, and people still say, oh, you've lost more weight. And I'm like, well, no, I haven't. So you still are going to get judged by things. And being a real estate agent, people have bad things to say about real estate agents all the time. They say that we control the market. They say that we determine where the rents go up. That is untrue. The market determines what happens, and supply and demand determines what happens with the real estate market.
Who really believes
if you listen to, and surprisingly enough, one of the candidates that I interviewed this week has been getting bagged severely on Facebook by a particular person. When I spoke with them this week, I said to her, why are you focusing on the one person that is putting you down when you have so many other people that are supporting you? And unfortunately, that's what we do. And I see it in our industry and our workplace every day, where if one person says something or has a go at you, a cranky tenant or an upset landlord, you forget about all the brilliant, wonderful testimonial, great things that people have said and thanked you for, and it just hurts you more. And I think that's what it is, what Ian said. It's a form of failure when you think you've let someone down or that someone's not happy with you. And being a people pleaser nearly my whole life, I will let you know you will never please everyone. My dad always used to say, you will please some of the people some of the time, but you won't please all of the people all of the time.
I know, and I realised that it was probably a couple of years ago. There's people that don't like him.
Yeah, there's people who don't like all of us, but you know what? It doesn't matter because there's people you don't like.
That's right.
There's people you don't
And
like.
there's people we don't work with. There's people I don't associate
And we
with.
talked about getting toxic people out of your life. There are toxic people out there. Some people might think that we're toxic to have in their life.
That's
You
right.
can't
And
get
that's
along
okay.
with
I'm
that.
okay with that.
I'm fine with that. And that's where the point of getting to the when you get to the point of being okay with that and realising that not everyone will like you, not everyone will agree with you, not everyone will understand you, that's okay. That's just okay. You have to like you. Just you have to like you. And getting out of your comfort zone is exactly that.
What's Donna saying now?
You can follow the sales and see where the growth is. It's a hard industry. I take my hat off to you all.
there you
Thanks,
go.
Donna.
Thanks.
It is a hard industry, and we
Yes,
cop the
yes.
blows on the
Yeah.
chin. But you know what? There's so many positive comments that we get, and how hard we work for people. You're never going to please everybody.
You change lives at the end of the day. You create dreams for people.
Well, it's the
So
biggest
much in their
transaction most
house,
people will do
in their life,
whole
in
life,
their
financially.
life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes they'll only do it one time. You know, so there's people who live in the same house for the next 30 years.
And they really
So it's a
genuinely
big thing.
need your professionalism and advice and support because I signed a contract with somebody, today that they've never done it before. They're totally trusting that I'm giving them the right information and the right advice and how you approach that and encouraging them to get legal advice and all of those things.
And you've got to treat that, and I know you do. Real estate agents have got to treat that position with the importance it deserves.
And a lot of people don't, and that's where in a lot of industries.
And that's why you get a bad name.
The whole
because
industry
there's one or
gets.
two people. Dave Roby, happy birthday, champion. I think it was today. And there's a bit of love for us. Thank you.
I'm still
Back at
waiting
you.
on
So-
the Hamish's
Hamish
diamond
photo.
calendar photo.
That's right. I'm pretty keen on
So
that.
a couple of things that I actually found today, which I thought was really relevant to today's live. If you want something you've never had, then you've got to do something you've never done.
Holy shit.
If you
That's
want
deep.
something you've never had, you have got to do something you've never done.
I agree with that completely.
So that's so true. And the other one, I've actually got this hanging stuck on the wall above my desk, and the only thing that's stopping you, the only thing between you and your goal is the bullshit that you keep telling yourself about not being able to achieve it. And that's what it is. It's all in your head.
It's the stories.
It is. It's all in your head.
And you have two things in your head. You have your belief system, which is BS.
Yes.
You might have a positive belief system, and you might also have a BS belief system.
Yes.
So the BS stands for two things: belief system and bullshit that you might be telling yourself.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean that Roz and I get it right all the time too, because we've got our
We don't.
fears. I don't want to bungee
Huge
jump.
disclaimer,
And
we
guess
don't
what?
always get it right.
I don't want to play with snakes.
No.
Ever.
No.
If I never ever play with a snake, it's too simple.
Exactly.
I don't want to play with spiders.
Don't like snakes.
What
I
else?
don't
What
like
other fears
spiders.
have you got in there?
I hate
Ghosts?
the thought of a roller coaster. My sister took me on a roller coaster in Las Vegas a
Really?
few years ago, and she said, "You've got two choices." She said, "Before we leave Las Vegas, you either come on a roller coaster with me or you get a tattoo." I said, "Well, I'm not getting a tattoo." She made me go on a roller coaster, and you know what? I hated it. Worst
did you?
experience of my
But you
life.
did it.
I've never been more scared,
Hey,
and I
Maddie.
will never do it again. I will never do it
Never,
again.
ever.
I will never do
Once?
it again. Once, I'm done. I'm done. She thought it was hilarious. We're live.
This is
We're
this
live,
is
Maddie.
a lovely Maddie.
Hello.
This is Roz, Maddie. Now, this is so Maddie. This is the most beautiful
Who's making
Maddie
it
we
wrong?
know ever. You are such a beautiful girl.
Listen.
We're live today. Now, Maddie is a crystal healer. So Maddie is very, very into
Maddie was
personal
your-
development. She is very special.
Oh, she's one of my best friends.
And she changes lives, this girl. So now what we're going to do...
We spoke about you, like, in the last couple of weeks.
We did, yeah.
We talked about you on one of our lives. Yeah. And we said we have to get you on for a
We
live.
do. We do.
We're talking about getting out of your comfort zone today.
What would you tell someone who says to you, they're scared or
Get
fear?
close because I won't be able to
Yeah.
hear you.
I feel like you can't really grow as a person unless you do step out of your comfort zone. So when you're in that comfortable space, make the most of it and notice how you're feeling and the energy around you and everything like that, because that's where you're going to grow as a person.
Yeah, that's great. So how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah.
You can follow me on Instagram, Love and Light Healing Studio. And it's actually 2 years today I opened that business.
Oh, congratulations! What's your anniversary?
So, you.
Well done. That's fantastic.
All right, Gail. Well, look, thank you so much.
Yeah, you too.
Great to see you too. Thanks for joining us. And,
We will get you on for a live one day. There you go.
Isn't that beautiful?
I had no idea that was your daughter.
She's one of the most beautiful girls I know, Maddie. She's
Funny
so
how you know
special.
people and you don't know they're related.
Now, and Maddie was so
Great
right.
advice.
Like it's that energy that comes with, because I tell you, adrenaline is an energy.
Yes.
When that adrenaline starts kicking in, and it's saying to you, you know, the fight or flight, it's saying you can push forward through this, or you can disappear and you can go and be somewhere else that's easy and it's soft and that's comfortable.
And everyone can do that. Everyone can just stay where they are. But it doesn't. It doesn't. This one that I read this morning: move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. And that's what getting out of your comfort zone is all about, and the energy Matty talked about. So, Tony Noyes is here. Tony's been a great help with me.
Oh, he's good.
You want a really good insurance broker? Tony
Yeah,
Noyes.
Tony.
Fantastic. He's helped me out a lot lately.
Give yourself a rap.
He's probably
on
sick
here
of
too,
hearing
Tony.
from me.
Hey Tony, put something up on here, mate. Or sure, put a phone number up or something.
Yeah, Tony Noyes, best
Because
insurance
Donna
broker.
Ellis, she's in business. Oh wow, yeah, she might need a bit of business insurance.
Yep.
So it's really, and we talked about it with Ian last night. It's about being self-aware. Like I think that the more aware you are of your emotional state, the sooner you can both address it and understand it, and then use it to your benefit. So getting out of your comfort zone is knowing that, guess what, it's okay to be a bit fearful, and I'm probably going to be a bit nervous about this, but you know what can go wrong?
Definitely.
And it can't be that freaking hard.
And you know what? Don't start with big stuff. Like honestly, when I say do something every day that scares you, just talk to a stranger that's sitting next to you at a bus stop.
Yes.
If actually speaking with people that you don't know,
Yeah.
it starts small. Say hi to somebody standing in line at the bank.
Yeah.
Most of them have a really long waiting time, so you've got plenty of time to smile and say how you're going. The other thing that I've always trained, when I've been doing sales training, if you go into a service station or a shop and you don't get a great, reception from whoever's serving you, don't be scared to say, "Oh, are you okay? Are you having a bad day?" That's one of my biggest things. If
Or are you
are you happy? If somebody's not acting, I can't tell you the responses I get from people when I just go, "Are you having a bad day?" It actually brings to their attention that the way that they're coming across to you is showing that they're actually not in a very good mood.
So that you're just pointing that out for them.
If you say to someone, "Are you okay? Are you having a bad day?" It's all about making sure that they realise that the response or reception they're giving you is actually not coming across as very welcoming or
Especially
great
from a
customer
customer
service.
service
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so here's a deal, Ross. So for example, if someone didn't like live videos, right?
Yep.
If someone knows that it's not, that it's good for their business, but they're not gay enough to do it, here's my tip. Come here on Friday and we'll help you. We'll step you through the process, and we'll just give you 5 minutes of come and do this, and you can get your head around what it feels and looks like.
And you know what? Even before you do that, if you don't want to go live because you're worried about how you look on camera
Do it
or
on
sound,
video.
just video yourself.
Yes.
My daughter, who is 20 years old, she just turned 20 now. Sarah has been doing videos since she was probably about 10. She actually started doing videos of her singing and playing the guitar and putting them on Facebook and YouTube. She then started doing her makeup tutorials. Sarah Jean Makeup is her page on Instagram. She does live videos on the Girls Advice page. She's doing exceptionally well. And, the fact that she still, initially she looked back and she went, "Oh, I could have done that song better," or she gave it a go. Nothing bad happened. She asked herself what was the worst thing that could happen, and she just did it. So video yourself. You don't need a tripod or anything. Like, everyone's got a phone now that can video. So just do a video, find out how you sound. I still judge myself, because when I watch our lives back, I've been watching them and I go, I say yep way too much. Yep and Yep and If you watch my video with if you watch my video with, I think it was Pat Laws, I think I said yep about 32 times.
Really?
And
Can you watch it and give me some feedback and tell me what I'm doing? What I'm watching?
yeah, you know what? The only thing that you do is talk about running too much.
Oh, you what? Really?
Only because I don't like. No, you don't. I just know how much you talk about running. It's all right.
It's a good topic.
It is.
Great topic.
And we've already talked about the feedback we got early on when you started the lives, where people said you were halfway through a sentence and then you'd start welcoming people. So when you actually get a friend to watch it and they give you feedback on what you actually sound like.
That's right.
If you're like, well, Nick, who comes here every week at the live box, has given us some great advice on the lighting, the sound. We've got music in the background now because the bomb's starting up.
And we've given him feedback about the chairs, which he hasn't taken.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, we haven't. We haven't got any response to the feedback on the chairs, but I'm sure they will do something about it eventually.
And I think we should start wrapping up because we're getting inundated with little promies here. I want to hang around and watch some of these little
Yeah, I
promies,
do
'cause I know
too.
some of them.
I just want to read out a couple more of these things. You are only confined by the walls you build yourself. Get out of your comfort zone.
That's
The next one is your brilliance awaits you on the edge of your comfort zone. Your brilliance awaits you. Get out of your comfort zone.
So at the retreats that we do, we have three zones. We talk about comfort,
Yep,
we talk about challenge,
yep,
then we talk about crazy.
yep.
Right? So in your comfort zone, then there's the challenge zone where that might just be a little bit out of your comfort zone, right? Then there's the crazy shit. Like to me, to do crazy shit for me would be bungee jump. Would be to parachute. Like I don't
A
know.
little bit more reckless thing.
I don't know how I'd get out to go and do that.
Yeah.
Roller coaster to me is not a biggie, but for you, roller coaster is probably a crazy
No,
zone.
that's stepping over the line for me.
So I think what it is you probably, it helps me to be clear, and again, this is self-awareness,
Yeah.
and what is comfortable, what's a bit challenging, and what's just freaking crazy.
Yeah.
It's too much for me at the moment, spiders.
See, I would never jump out of a plane.
No, that's right.
There's no way I would parachute, no parachute, unless the plane was going down and I had a parachute on. That's probably the only thing that I would be forced to jump out of a plane. But
Really?
it doesn't matter. No one can convince me.
That's
So there
right.
is that level of crazy where it's just too far past
far.
your comfort
That's
zone.
probably outside of challenge.
It's outside. That's so
Crazy.
far outside my comfort zone. I believe I would probably have a heart attack on the way there.
Yeah, I agree with me.
I don't like heights, so I'm not big on climbing mountains but I've done it before and I know the response that it's given. It's not something I feel that if I kept doing it, I would actually have a different reaction. I know.
Well, it's always going to be scary. But you've done it once.
I have done it once. I
Yeah,
have.
right.
So another one of the little sayings before we wrap up, a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Nothing
With the
ever
optimum
grows
word being
in your
grows.
comfort zone. Grows.
Because we've got to grow. You're either growing
Nothing
or you're
grows.
dying.
If you're comfortable to sit in your comfort zone, but everyone has something they would love to do that is outside of their comfort zone, that they need the tools and the courage to actually go ahead and do.
And I think that's really the word we've missed today. We've only said it now. It's 37 minutes in. Courage.
Courage.
That's what getting out of your comfort zone.
I did mention it a few times before. Yeah, so just
the fear.
yeah.
And courage is not having fear. It's dealing with the fear.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and I think knowing that you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do the big things all at once. It's about just setting those little goals, doing something. If it's videoing yourself with a friend that you feel comfortable with, and then critiquing things. If you're a business owner and you're not going live or you're not promoting your business with video, you really need to get on that because all of the statistics show that video is the future of promoting your business. People like watching videos. I've done, like I said, a couple of the videos I've done with the interviewing. We've got over 1,000 views in a couple of days on some of those.
Yeah.
And do you know what else? You know what Gary Vaynerchuk's saying? He's saying Voice Ros. We should be on a podcast. We should be podcasting at the same time.
Well, I finally got a page, so one step at a time.
Gary V is
We're just about
that's
ready.
great, which is probably good.
Yeah, it
timing.
is good timing.
One tip, one big tip. What's the one big thing that could help people get out of their comfort zone?
I just think take a small step. Just take one small step. Figure out what it is you want to do, and just take one small step to getting out of what you would call your comfort zone to achieve that. And that's the biggest thing, is to just take that one step. Take that one step.
Pick one thing.
And it might not be
take your
public
money,
speaking.
but it might
be picking up the phone to ring your mum who
might
you
be a
haven't
cold
spoken
call,
to
or it
for.
might be you remembering a relationship.
Yeah, it might be improving your business. It might be.
Go you.
there's-
Give yourself a month.
yeah, just set little time frames and goals, and just take those baby steps to actually achieving them.
That's
So,
good shit. Ros and Guins on a Friday. Team, been a pleasure. Thanks, Ros.
I think I've read all my little things. We're just getting inundated with people at the prom, so have a great week, everybody. We'll do some more lives. I'm planning on going into Candy Couture this week to do a live, and a couple of other businesses. I will probably eat some lollies. So have a great weekend, everyone. And if you want to comment after this video on things that you would like to be able to achieve but need to get out of your comfort zone to do, type them in and we'll be in touch. And I'll post that video on that young fella I talked about.
Well, I thought everyone was here for us.
They've rolled out the red carpet and they've gathered a crowd for us this Friday afternoon. So it's been enjoyable.
Good on you.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye.